Redditors who cut their grass at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, why do you do it? My folks have lived in a sleepy little town for about 30 years. Recently, someone decided to turn one neighborhood house into an Airbnb, and it's become a party house every weekend. Every single neighbor within earshot is fed up. The entire lot of annoyed permanent residents get up Saturday morning and mow their lawns, run blowers, bang wrenches on metal stuff, yell "Morning neighbor, beautiful day," and have full-blown yelling conversations across the offender's yard. If your neighbors seem to mow their lawn at 7 a.m., the morning after each time you have a party, they are passive-aggressively telling you they don't want to spoil your good time, but you are infringing on theirs. My previous neighbor was so fucking annoying, having parties on random days. Like Saturday until midnight, I let slide. But a effing Tuesday at 4 a.m. One time, I cut a tree down that I didn't even want to. Just to annoy the F out of him at 7 a.m. The other neighbor hated him too, and would start his Harley up at like 7:30, and just let it idle for 10 to 15 minutes. My neighbor did this every morning after the across the street neighbor had a party. He also had a loose muffler shield, which made it extra loud. I was caught in the middle of their war. One day I was helping him out with the lawn, and tightened it for him. It made it so much quieter. The next week, the neighbor threw a party. So the next morning the lawnmower came out, and I could tell he loosened back the muffler shield. Before I tell this, I must point out that I tried to resolve the problem maybe half a dozen times before this point, by being reasonable and asking nicely. I don't have a massive problem with people being noisy in their house next door. But this was screaming randomly for no discernible reason, at all hours of the day and night. And it put me on edge for months on end. As a passive-aggressive Englishman, I had neighbors, 20-year-old female students, who would literally scream at random times of the day and night, like overexcited children, being tickled. One night, they were quite clearly goading me by screaming and shouting my name at the wall, at 2 a.m. They had one mate who was a cokehead, who I think was the catalyst. So in the morning at 6 a.m., I got completely dressed, and went round to talk to them. I rang the doorbell, and kept pressing it until they answered. It was a real bell, like you'd have in a school, and I made it ring constantly, until they came to the door. It must have absolutely done their head in, as there was also no way to stop it. One of their boyfriends answered, and pleaded with me to stop, as he hadn't been part of it. I apologized to him for waking him up, but told him that I would stop ringing the bell when I could talk to the girls, who were shouting my name at 2 a.m. I knew who they were anyway. I told them that this was the time I had to talk to them as I had to go to work, and that if they kept screaming, I'd keep doing this and get earlier and earlier. They didn't scream anymore after that conversation. I'm not sure if this was passive-aggressive, or aggressive-aggressive, but it was effing satisfying. And when they were sleeping and dozing at last. When all of the music and shouting had passed. When all of the noise of the party was through. He turned on his mower. He whispered, "F you." If you like our video, subscribe now for more.